Hey, hello, and welcome in. Welcome back if you got it like that. All right, today we're going to be exploring Sagittarius energy. So this could be for Sagittarius placements and or strong Jupiter placements, maybe Jupiter in the 5th house, right? So we're exploring expansion around creativity, children, love, joy, passion, 5th house, all the good stuff that the 5th house rules. Jupiter makes things bigger. Jupiter is going to be moving into Leo later, soonish, after being in Cancer for a while. And the 5th house is naturally ruled, right? If you just go around the wheel, by Leo. So if any of those snippets resonated with you, maybe stay tuned. There could be something in here for you. So we're going to explore what the energy that's been going on, that has been going on, that's currently going on, and what's coming up in the future, just to get you prepared around this theme, folks. Let's see what we got. What does the group need to know? Okay. So Earth energy, staying grounded because you're transforming, and that could be a lot. All right, so Sagittarius or Sagittarius placements, Jupiter is all about expansion, right? It makes things bigger. It's more beautiful and vibrant, all the things. Now, if there's something low vibration too, it can also draw light onto that and make it bigger as well. So kind of bear that in mind as you maybe explore your own 5th house placement or your own Jupiter placement and what's going on in your life. But you know, this transformation energy is fantastic, right? It's Scorpio, it's death, it's, you know, blooming into something brand new. It can be hard. It can feel uncomfortable. It can feel ungrounded. So you're just being, you know, reminded that this is the transformative process that you're going through right now. And so when you feel, right, like you're the kite without a string, find your string, right? So kind of anchor that back down. Wisdom. Ooh, and productivity. Yeah, so this transformation is fantastic, right? You've been working at something, on something for a very long time. Perhaps it's gone undervalued and unnoticed. Perhaps you've been working at your craft for some time as, I don't know, just like an individual contributor, and now you're having an opportunity to maybe teach others, right? Sagittarius is the natural teacher of the zodiac, and there could be something, right, about sharing your wisdom, you know, as part of this transformation in a way that helps others become more productive. This does feel more 3D oriented with the bee for me. This productivity card, it's you're getting to work. You're the busy bee. Yeah, this is definitely rooted in the material realm, but it is anchored around using your creativity and how you express yourself, and finding ways to bring joy into situations that might otherwise feel mundane. The pomegranate. I don't know much about pomegranates, I'll be honest, but if we think about the fruit itself and the little surprises within in terms of its seeds and how delectable and delicious they are, like I kind of feel like that's part of the message, right? There's like some hidden surprises here, something unexpected that's, you know, coming your way that might look a little, I don't know, kind of on the surface, but as you peel back the layers, right, it's got some happy little surprises within. So take that if it hits or not. All right. We had some folks want to, oh my heavens. All right, so let's see what we got going on. We've got being yelled at, trust your intuition. So we had the High Priestess yell at me, a reminder to go within, trust your intuition at this time. Let's see, I pulled 6. So we're going to take a look at what's been going on and where you're at right now. So what's been going on? A lot. And then we'll pull your outcome or where you're going. So what's been going on? You have the Lovers here. So you might be dealing with a Gemini. Gemini is across the hall. It's sort of the adjacent pair to Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius is all about big thinking, dreaming, right? Big picture, ideals, theory, teaching, right? Our systems or our belief systems, rather. Gemini is about details, and it loves like Virgo, kind of loves a spreadsheet, gets curious, likes to organize data and information. But you could also just simply be right connected to Gemini energy, because we do have this Page of Swords coming your way, and this could be messenger energy. And so either this has happened or will happen. You may expect a message coming from this Gemini that's going to invoke a tower moment. And it may not be catastrophic in nature, right? It could just be the aha that you're looking for, the missing piece of the puzzle that you really hadn't been able to source from your own self-reflection, your own sort of shadow work and things like that. There was a blind spot, perhaps, and you have or will receive this, or right? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's there, and this Gemini has the keeper of the information. You don't know exactly what it is, but you do know it's enough to shake the house. And so, right, there is some ambiguity around this, but it's likely that maybe a recent interaction has gotten you to a place where like you're a little bit clearer about that deep knowing that you have about this scenario, even though you haven't gotten all of the information. It does look like it's going to be coming in. We do have the Eight of Wands, right? And so this could be now or in the very near future that this conversation is coming through. It could be with an Aquarius. It could also be very healing. So this is going to be a catalyst for you. And it's ultimately going to unlock, right, your belief in your own personal ability to become the King of Pentacles. And it's also going to heal your perception around the way things have always been done, right? The King of Pentacles can kind of get a little heavy in that energy, kind of stuck in a rut. There's something transforming and healing with that ideal set itself. So it could be a self-imposed or belief, limiting belief system that you've had about your own capabilities. It could also just simply be healing the way in which you look at, right, antiquated systems and challenging them and having the confidence to challenge them, to maybe embrace technology with this Aquarian energy, to become a little detached emotionally, to know when to become attached emotionally from certain situations, when to invoke and use that wisdom, right, that you've acquired over these years, and to stay grounded, because things ultimately do take time. And just because, you want that fast moving energy. It does look like it's going to move fast, right? Eight of Wands is a fast card in the deck, but I feel as though, prior, you've been doing a lot of the recon, you've been doing a lot of the research with Gemini, you've been doing a lot of the research on what you believe to have been going on, um, you know, and maybe feeling a little stuck. So there's definitely a shakeup, right? We may not have valued creativity. We may not have valued curiosity in the past, and that energy is about to shift. And this Page of Swords could be, right, that youthful energy coming in to kind of say, hey, don't lose that. Don't lose that curiosity. Don't lose that desire to ask questions and be inquisitive. Things are changing quickly. We do have Uranus. Okay, here we go. What am I thinking? We do have Uranus moving into Gemini in just a few days, right? And so that's the tower moment, guys. That's what's going on. That's, that energy is a catalyst to really change the game and to ask us to, right, learn something new and to speak truth, right? Kids out of the mouth of babes is kind of what just came to me. Out of the mouth of babes. It's not, there's a difference between innocence and being naive. And I think that, you may see how your innocence has led you down a path, or even your being naive, whatever. But things are going to shake up, because just because you're pure and, you're not going to harm anybody, that's fine. That doesn't mean people haven't done it to you. And you're kind of now, at a level of maturity to kind of put the pieces back together and say, yeah, that's where I've given away my power, because I believed in these traditional, the way things have always done, these traditional power structures. But with Pluto moving into Aquarius, right, that game is changing. We're no longer interested in Pluto in Capricorn, right? That is all about structure and time and putting in the work. Yes, that's important. Yes, we're bringing that energy with us because it's been important and powerful over the past, I don't know, decade or so. But now that we have this opportunity to shift into something that's more beneficial for the collective, right? We're going to have an opportunity to shift our ideals around those systems. And Sag, as the teacher, right? You're here to kind of lead the charge. You're here to lead the charge. You're here to open the door, hold the door open as others wake up, kind of discover their own, I don't know, unloved sense of creativity, and start to nurture that inner child again and bring it forward. It doesn't matter if you're an accountant or anything, really. You could be whatever you want, quite honestly. And there's a way for you to bring that forward and express, your creativity in the most mundane ways, So we need to get outside of the box and say, okay, well, you're in corporate, therefore you're rigid and you follow a playbook and you have no soul. Like, that's just fundamentally not true. There's a lot of really wonderful people who've gone down that path and they've acquired a myriad of skills, and maybe they've gone undervalued in all the things, and now you're being called to kind of bring them to the forefront. So in the where are you going in the outcome energy, we do have a new opportunity. So there is an Ace of Pentacles. There's an opportunity to build from scratch, to start something brand new, and have patience as you do it. Be curious, experiment, right? Not You're not going to be a one-hit wonder. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder, I guess, right? If we think about Uranus in Taurus, Taurus is all about putting in the work, building a solid foundation. There's still, we're at the end of the degrees here. We're at the final degrees of that transit. And it's really, you're going to have to, again, just like Pluto, you're going to carry forward that principle with you. So that, you're not over here trying to hit a scratch off and find your happily ever after. So, but we do have the Four of Wands as well. You will ultimately get to that Four of Wands. Here you are, Sag, in your advice. We have the Nine of Wands, and we also have the Hermit energy. So there you are, shining a light, opening the door for others, right? Don't give up. If you are, kind of at a crossroads and you're wondering like, hey, should I keep going? Yes, keep going. That's your validation. Keep going. But make sure that you're doing it in a way that is balanced for yourself, right? If you've done a lot of work not to be a doormat or a bleeding heart or to take on things that aren't yours to carry, this is your reminder to kind of continue to ensure that those skills, those boundaries remain at the forefront of what you bring forward into your brand new chapter, right? So be curious, plant seeds, right? Look for new ways of doing things. Look for new ways of doing things. I see her in the garden with the pumpkins, and I'm thinking, there's so many different ways, right, to garden. I can see that the squash is growing vertically, right? Like that's relatively new. Maybe not, but new for the backyard gardener, right? Running your squash up a trellis is not exactly how people used to garden their their squash, but it loves to climb. It loves to climb, right? And so there's a message in that, right? Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't keep your head down. Be curious. Look for something new. Look for different ways of doing things, because if you try to solve the problem the same way that you've always solved the problem, you're going to end up in the same rut that you've always been in. And you're very much moving into this portal energy of 4-4, right? Or I don't know why I said that, 11-11. So maybe 4-4 is significant to you. But this is the Four of Wands, right? It's a good foundation. You're building that new foundation, right? You're bringing forward the lessons that you have acquired through the Pluto and Capricorn transit, through the Uranus and in Taurus transit, right? You have a lot of this heavy earth energy, grounded energy at your disposal, right? You've put in the work, you've acquired the wisdom, but ultimately you're being asked to transform. And we have AI now, right? Everybody's talking about AI, right? And it's like, how do we use it, and where does it make sense? Incredible productivity boost, but we need to be strategic and ethical and well intentioned, right? As we explore these opportunities to increase our productivity in a way that yields balance, in a way that yields an opportunity to learn something new in a well-intentioned and aligned sort of from that baseline. But you're doing great, right? This is your opportunity to break patterns as well, Sagittarius, right? So if you've had a pattern of playing small or kind of self-destructing or, self-sabotaging your own opportunities, the Hermit is here, and this is going to shine a light on that. The Hermit is shining a light on that as well. So yes, keep pushing. You've put in the work. It's your time to shine, quite literally. But don't expect that you won't be presented with a look at the ways in which you've potentially I don't want to say missed opportunities, right? Because it's not really a missed opportunity, but it's a lesson that's in your book. It's a chapter in your story, and you need that callback. You needed that callback. You need to be able to have this chapter want to unfold, and to ensure that you're ready to step into it, right? You need to be able to look back at those prior chapters to ensure that, hey, I see where I kind of did myself a little dirty, or maybe where I didn't believe in myself or have the confidence. I wasn't healed. There were certain things that I just simply hadn't healed. And I wasn't ready for this brand new start. But now I am, you know, and I can see that pattern, right? And I can recognize that pattern, and I can acknowledge it for what it is, be very rational and grounded. And I have a deep knowing that I'm going to be able to navigate that with confidence. So Sagittarius, this is great. I feel really great about this for you. I think there's some big moments coming your way, right, around this shift where Uranus moves into Gemini. I think everybody's going to be feeling that, but I feel like you will have an opportunity to really like take that deep inhale and be like, yeah, it was worth it. I recognize that this has been an incredibly transformative cycle, and however long that cycle is for you, 8 years, 10 years, 3 years, right? There's all of these different planetary influences, and you're kind of seeing them all come together. We've got a party in Aries, guys, so like it's start time. So that's going your way, Sagittarius. I hope there was something in here for you that gives you confidence that you're doing the right thing, and gives you sort of solid footing, right, to Look for the signs, reflect on the patterns, and hey, go after that fresh new start, and light the way, right? Light the way. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one.